Back to part 5 of Score Plays Ghosts and Goblins. This is going to be the not fun. I have tried my best up to this point to not swear that much because of the audience that we're trying to hold, but this level is going to test my limits of patience. Oh, we are going to have fun today. Got me a nice warm cup of tea and a stroop waffle for emotional support. Drinking the Rubios Madagascar Red. It's a very soothing tea. Oh man. So I think I'm gonna go back to talking about Halloween, at least to try and keep myself from losing my mind. That was fun. My absolute favorite Halloween candy has always been Reese's Pieces, even though you can get it any time of the year. I mean, I just love Reese's Pieces. They're good. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is like one of my favorites. The only thing that's better than Reese's Pieces are the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups with Reese's Pieces in it. That's like just the ultimate. If you want to make a skunk happy, just give him a peanut butter cup with Reese's Pieces on the inside. Ooh, thank you. Okay, there are red devils here. Thank you, Imp. I didn't need that armor. Okay. And that was just bound to happen. I think I'm gonna need more tea. Oh, I forgot to squat and kill the skeleton. Just kill me. Thank you. Thank you, good sir. That was very kind of you. I'm also really fond of those little caramel corn pumpkins. Those are really cool. Or anything that incorporates caramel and apples, I'm also a big fan of. Just the other day, I also recently did my fall ritual. To me, it's not fall until I have a mug of hot apple cider and a plain brown donut. You know, no sprinkles, no frosting, no anything, just a plain cake donut with some delicious hot apple cider. It's just the perfect combination. And I try to do it on the first day of fall. I missed it this day by about a couple days, only because my local grocer did not have the plain donuts that I wanted. I was able to get the cider, but not the donuts. But what was cool is that the day after I drank it, the weather got cooler, so it's like, you know, the ritual that makes the weather... I need to stop jumping there. The weather that makes... Or the cider and the donut that makes the weather get cooler, so I need to start drinking that earlier in the year, maybe about like late September, or earlier September, late August. And that would be great. But then again, next year I won't need to really rely on that for the weather change because it's going to be up in Washington and the weather will be fair all year round, which is good for me. I jumped again. I need to stop jumping there. Jumping in this game is one of your best defensive and worst defensive maneuvers. Especially in this level because the enemies just are not friendly. I mean, they're never friendly, but they play much dirtier this time around. Whew, okay. Just keep moving, keep moving. No. Do not want axe. The only time we're changing weapons in this game is when we're getting the shield in the next level, because you need the shield. The shield sucks. It's like the lance, but it has a much shorter distance. The only positive that it has is that it will block enemy projectiles coming at you. So if you just fire a shield in the way of an enemy, any projectile they throw at you will be automatically taken care of, which is great. The axe works just like the axe in Castlevania. It goes at an arc, comes back down. It's not your friend. Nothing in this game is your friend. Don't trust anything. God. Take that, and this. I told myself mentally, don't jump. Guess what I did? I jumped. It's weird, sometimes him jumping over you doesn't kill you, and other times it does. The hitboxes are so inconsistent in this game. I've also noticed a glitch that sometimes when you lose your armor and you're invincible, your hits sometimes won't register when you're throwing weapons, which is absolute bullcrap. But those two words sum up this game in a nutshell. Absolute bullcrap. I mean, if you ever want to write a review for Ghosts and Goblins, just write absolute bullcrap, and just see it right there. And people will know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need more tea. I'm going to be here for a while. Oh, jeez. This is going to probably be like a 3 to 4 episode ordeal. I did that on purpose, by the way, because it's just, there's no point in going anywhere past the first red devil without having armor. It will just not go in your favor. This game is never going to go in your favor. You just have moments of rare clarity when things just click and work for you. But those moments are just few and far between. I mean, just a lot of things. Just like a lot of the enemies are just so inconsistent with what they do. So you can't really rely on patterns. Which is not cool. Because that's what most video games are about. They're about learning patterns and finding the best strategy for dealing with those patterns. Forget it, just go. I don't want to do this anymore. It's so horrible. Oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, great. Oh, and I forgot there's a bunch of those guys in the next level. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you for crapping on my head. Oh, sweet God. No. You know, I hope you guys appreciate this. I mean, because it's like once you get this far, you can't stop. You can't stop. You just can't stop. I need a hug and a cookie. If someone can spare me a hug and a cookie, you'd be like my best friend right now. Oh. I mean, with other games that you play, you get a satisfaction for getting somewhere after a hard part, but not with Ghosts and Goblins, because you know it's only going to get worse. I mean, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for materializing out of freaking nowhere. Deep breath. Deep breath. As I said, freaking cheap. Thank you. Thank you for the fun. I love fun. Don't you love fun? We're having fun, right? That's the whole point of a video game, is to have fun. I have never broken a controller before while playing a game or rage quitting. It's just that hasn't been a thing. I've always stopped for a little bit, took a nice deep composing breath or two, played something different, and then just went back to it. But Ghosts and Goblins isn't one of those games. It's one of those games that tests your ability to handle and manage stress. To beat the game, you freaking imp. Yeah, thanks. That was a three-way of not fun. But you know what, we're gonna do this, and it's going to be glorious, but what sucks is that we gotta do it twice! Because this room is a trap devised by Satan. Favorite Halloween movies? Let's see. One that I always like to watch for Halloween or around Halloween is Rocky Horror. One of my all-time favorite musicals. I also like to do Hocus Pocus. And let's see, what other campy stuff? Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, of course. Looking for a good zombie movie. You know, there's always the classics, the Romero films, but you know, other stuff. Like, I've become a fan of like campy zombie movies. Something fun. Stuff like Zombieland, that's a good movie too. But Zombieland is really more of a romance film because of Tallahassee and his Twinkies. If you haven't seen Zombieland, I recommend it. It's a fun one. Bill Murray gets killed, so it's great. I am not that big of a fan of Bill Murray since learning that he was the reason that Ghostbusters 3 never happened. I think I may have talked about this in a previous episode. If not, I'll stop. But I'll keep going. Because you can't tell me to stop. Is that Harold Ramis had the script ready for Ghostbusters 3, and if you don't know Harold Ramis, he was Egon. But Harold Ramis had the script ready for Ghostbusters 3, and and Bill Murray was very against doing a third Ghostbusters film. Which was sad. But he waited until Harold Ramis was dead to take part in another Ghostbusters film. And it just so happened to be the 2016 Ghostbusters, which I feel like it's now safe to talk about not liking the film because, Jesus, that was a shit. I'm sorry, I almost swore. That was a total crap show of just politics being thrown into something that just didn't need to be political. It's not the fact that the cast was all female. That had absolutely nothing to do with it. For a lot of fans, it was the fact that it was treating the franchise like the previous films did not exist, but yet they got cameos from every other living member of the Ghostbusters cast, which was just insult to injury, salt in the wound. If they had done it like a passing of the torch type story, that would have been fine. It would have been great. I would have been very receptive to it, but instead what we got was just something that to me was not funny and just completely crapped on the legacy of the franchise. And again, it had nothing to do with the fact that the cast was women. Nothing. You could have done that with dudes and it still would have been horrible. Because they treated the franchise like it was brand new and they crapped on the legacy. I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about Ghostbusters. It's one of my absolute favorite films. And I did, even though I had heard about all the negative press that the 2016 film got, I still said I was going to go into it giving it a fair chance. And I did. And I still hated it. The only funny part I thought was that you had Dan Aykroyd talking about he was the taxi driver and he was talking about a type of ghost and he used like I forgot it was like a stage 4 floating something apparatus. It was funny. I thought that was great. But what I'm excited about is next Friday, which in my time right now, not yours, will be the 4th of October. And the Ghostbusters video game, the actual good one among the pile of crap, well, I'll get into talking about the NES games at some point. But the HD game is going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch. I pre-ordered it so I can get it physically at GameStop. Because I need to have that physical. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this episode here and we will continue. And my torment shall continue as well. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have an awesome day. Life stinks. Play good games, please.